looking at the recent elections, what this means. It really has been a somewhat significant shakeup. People use the term historic very liberally these days, but has this been a historic election?
I think genuinely, I mean, it is a terribly overused word, but Northern Ireland was established 101 years ago this year, designed with a border to ensure that unionists, those who want to remain part of the United Kingdom, would remain a majority as far into the future as anyone could predict and see at that time. And yet the election at the start of the month has shown Sinn Fein, the party associated with the IRA over many years, the most militant advocate of United Ireland, as not only the largest party in Northern Ireland, but entitled to nominate the First Minister of Northern Ireland. Certainly unionists 101 years ago could never have envisaged a time when a supporter of the IRA or someone who had that legacy was going to be the Prime Minister of Northern Ireland. So I think in this case, the word historic is justified.
And as we have said, these elections saw Sinn Fein become the leading party in Northern Ireland, and it means that the deputy leader, Michelle O'Neill, can become First Minister. Here's what she had to say.
Today ushers in a new era, which I believe presents us all with an opportunity to reimagine relationships in this society on the basis of fairness, on the basis of equality and on the basis of social justice. Irrespective of religious, political or social backgrounds, my commitment is to make politics work.
I want to bring Ben Lowry in. Ben, if you can, kind of put this in perspective for me. How historic is this? What kind of significant change is this? Sinn Fein, the party that has been the political wing of the IRA, now overtaking the DUP as the biggest party. Now, can unionists accept that? Where do you think this is going to go from here?
Well, I do edit a unionist newspaper, so I can try to give you a unionist perspective on it. I think it is a traumatic moment for unionists because Sinn Fein defends the IRA campaign. The IRA campaign, all unionists would say, was terrorist. Indeed, pretty much all the mainstream politicians on this island, on both sides of the border, thought it was terrorism when the IRA campaign was ongoing. And in Great Britain, in England, in Scotland and Wales, there was a universal view that it was a terrorist campaign. So for a party that defends that, unionists would say in a triumphalist way, increasingly triumphalist way, to become the Prime Minister of Northern Ireland is a difficult moment for unionism. However, I do think it's easy to overstate what's happened. So Sinn Féin only got 29% of the vote. That was more than anyone else. There's a lot of parties here. It does mean that 70%, approaching 3/4 of people, did not vote for Sinn Féin. And the largest group, if you bundle them all together, was for unionist parties. They didn't get a majority. They got 42% of the vote. The people who want to stay in the United Kingdom. The nationalist parties, the various parties, including Sinn Féin, that want Ireland to be outside of Britain and one unit, got 40%. And the big thing in this election, and the challenge for unionism and the challenge for Sinn Féin, is a very large group in the centre, approaching 20%, who are going to decide the future, who are going to decide these things, who are going to be the people who will ultimately have the say on whether or not we stay in the United Kingdom, as our readers hope we do, or join an independent Republic of Ireland.
Well,